Well, I made a costly trading mistake last week. I'm going to explain what that is and why it's so important to avoid it. I'll also go through the markets. I think that there's some who are concerned about a crash or a correction in the market, and we'll analyze the charts and figure out how those things are looking. We'll also look at the trade of the week, a stock that made a nice move, and using some simple techniques that I want to outline on a chart so that you can do better in your own trading. But let's get into this costly mistake that I've made. So one of the things I always tell people when I'm teaching them how to trade the markets or invest in the markets is to not try to be smart. I actually wrote a book called The Mindless Investor because ultimately we should do what the market tells us to do, not what our intellect tells us to do. And I often say, don't be smart, don't try to be smart. And the reason is not because smart people fail in the market, it's because we don't tend to have all of the information. Most of the big moves in the market come before the information is widely known. And so most of us are using old information to make decisions. And if you're using old information, then when markets start to move up really quickly or down really quickly, we look at the information, we say, well, this doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for the stock to be moving up. Well, the thing is, the stock market isn't fair. There's always some people that get the information before others. And when they do, they act in the market, they create abnormal activity, which I look for as a sign that a stock is likely to go higher. So let me tell you about the mistake I made. On one of the days last week, and I'm going to show the chart in just a moment, a stock VEEE is the symbol. They make powerboat engines, or they make powerboats. And the stock started to move up fairly quickly. Now, it's a stock that I've traded before, so I was aware that this is a company that makes these powerboats. And in the past, the stock really never did much. It would trade a little bit abnormally and go up a little and then kind of fizzle out. So I had a bias against that stock. And as you'll see in the chart in a moment, it made one of these abnormal breaks, met all of my rules. I have trading strategies which revolve around stocks making abnormal breaks from low volatility with strong liquidity, preferably low float stocks. This stock, again, VEEE is the symbol, met all of those rules on Monday. So as I said, powerboats, boring. And I passed on the trade because I tried to be smart. But the reality is there was much more behind the abnormal price action that caught my attention, and I missed out on one of the best trades of the week. You see, what happened with this stock was they are taking that powerboat business out of the public company, putting it into a private company, and vending in a new business that is in some sort of mineral exploitation in Greenland. So the reason the stock started to trade abnormally right here was because some people knew about that. Maybe they read the news, maybe they were ahead of the news because the stock actually started moving a couple days prior. And so right there you can see that little orange and pink dot. That's my indicator that looks for statistically significant abnormal trading activity. And I saw it right there. And I thought this is a perfect setup. It met all of my rules. It has a low float. It's got a decent price range. It was trading abnormally. It triggered my indicator. Everything was perfect. But I didn't take the trade for the full gain of the move. So it gave a confirming signal right there. And then it proceeded to move up sharply. Now, on stocks like this, I might only take a 3RR gain because I just don't think it has the great potential. And this stock just kept going up and up. And even later in the week, even higher. And so the point is, I tried to be smart. I had a bias against the stock because in the past when I've traded it, it hasn't done great. Because after all, motorboats are boring. I mean, you have a biotech stock, those can make big moves. AI stocks, those can make big moves. We've seen those kinds of stocks make big moves, but who has ever seen really a real company that makes something real and sells a product, but it's kind of boring. It's not going to have explosive earnings growth or that kind of thing. And so the result was I had a bias, it affected my decision making, and I ended up missing out. The lesson is don't try to be smart. There's always something going on that we don't know about. And if you use historical old information to make decisions, be smart, you're actually not using the information that some people in the market have. All right, well, let's get into this week's market analysis because there's been some weakness, particularly in the tech sector. And I think some people worried about maybe there being a bit of a correction. Of course, you still have issues with Iran and the surge in oil prices. So let me jump into Stockscores.com And reminder, I have a weekly email newsletter. It's free. You just click on this link right here and you can register for that. I'm already registered, so won't do anything. But notice here, I say no spam. We don't send you a bunch of garbage, put you on email lists, just for my weekly email, which I think many of you will enjoy. All right, let's take a look at the S&P first. SPY is the symbol. And you can see that over the past 6 weeks or so, we've been locked in this sideways trading range. We had a move up. This is called a pennant pattern, and it typically resolves with a break to the upside. However, if we break to the downside out of that pattern, that'll be a negative. So you'll notice that the stock scores, we'd like them to be above 60, and they are, and so therefore it's still a hold on this market. But you do have to be a little bit careful because we had some weakness at the end of the week last week, which starts to threaten this upward trend line. Not a big deal yet, but something to keep an eye on. Now, NASDAQ had a little bit more weakness. You can see that it has been building a little different pattern. This is called a descending triangle. So the tops are falling, that's the descending, and there's the bottom that forms the triangle. What it means is that the sellers are gaining power because every time the market tries to move up, it can't move up as much as it had previously, and that's a sign that the sellers are gaining power. And then we had a little breakdown on Friday. Now, it didn't quite go through support yet, so we're still okay, but it is a bit of a concern. You can also see that volume picked up a little bit on the downward move. Here, the tech stock sentiment stock score is now below 60. You can see it was above 60 for all that nice strength in the market, but it's dipped below in the last week or so. So be a little bit more careful with the NASDAQ stocks. If we go to the 1 month chart, you can see that I blow it up here. This is the falling tops I was talking about. It's right at support. It bounced off of support. It needs to hold this. If instead it breaks down, then be cautious with that part of the market. All right, let's move along to the small caps. And it too has been kind of dull the last little while. It's still in an upward trend. The bottoms are rising, so that's good. If I look at the 3-year, you can see it even better. It's in the upward trend. And until that upward trend line is broken, we should remain relatively optimistic. Similar situation for the Toronto Stock Exchange, T.XIU. You can see an upward trend, not an explosive one, just sort of drifting higher, but still a relatively healthy market. Gold, well, gold has gone from being the darling of the market, bursting bubble candle right there. When you hit a new high in a parabolic trend, close below the open, that's a very strong sell signal. And it then failed to make a new high, builds a falling top, rolls over, and has now been in this downward trend ever since. So I think this is a market to avoid. Now, one thing that gives it some support on the 3-year chart here, if I draw this linear trend line, we're getting close to that, and that'll be an area of support. And so the long-term picture I would say is neutral because it is at a point where it should bounce, but it hasn't made the bounce yet. It's still in the downward trend. And so until it can break that downward trend over the last 3 or 4 months, we should be pretty cautious with it. Now, with an increase in the military action with Iran, we saw oil prices surge a little bit. It's still not a great looking chart for buyers. And the reason is the upward trend has already been broken. We built this falling top. And so this is a movement up into pessimism. And typically, unless you really get a substantial increase in something to constrain the supply of oil, it's probably going to fizzle out. We're coming off of a low, not coming off of a rising bottom. So I think this could be a little head fake rally on oil. I wouldn't get too optimistic about it or too optimistic about what you might see in some of the oil stocks. All right, let's turn our attention to currencies now. UUP is the US dollar. It's relatively bullish. Bottoms are rising. It's been pulling back in this little sideways pullback here for a few weeks, but that just brings price back to the trend line. When prices run away from the trend line, it's overbought. Now they're working their way back where they should bounce and then resume the upward trend. So US dollar relatively healthy. Can't say the same thing for Bitcoin. It is in a cycle of falling tops. That means the sellers are in control, and you don't want to touch this thing until it can break that downward trend. Now, the very short-term price action is starting to stabilize. You can see we're relatively sideways over the last month or so and starting to build some rising bottoms. Perhaps if we can break through this level, we might get a little bounce back in Bitcoin, but hasn't happened yet. Just something to watch for next week. All right, moving along to the bond market. And this is critical, particularly for small cap stocks. And you can see the bond market sold off through the month of July, and that means interest rates have gone up. Now, we saw some stability this week, but it's still not a healthy chart. If we go to the 1 month time frame, you will see that we're in a bearish trend in the short term. And if we go to the 3-year time frame, we're pretty much sideways, but with a downward bias. So I would say it's a neutral market, but it's on the verge of breaking this floor price. And if we break that floor, that's going to basically mean the bond market pricing in higher interest rates. Markets don't like high interest rates, so that's something to watch because it could trigger some selling pressure in the overall market. So my ratings then, neutral on US large cap and bullish long term. NASDAQ short term bearish, still long term bullish. US small cap neutral in the short term and long term bullish. Canadian stocks bullish on both time frames. Gold bearish in the short term but neutral in the long term. Oil neutral. US dollar bullish. Bitcoin short term neutral, that's an upgrade, but still long term bearish. And bonds bearish in the short term and long term neutral. All right, let's get into the trade of the week. And this is an example of a stock that we traded in my active live service. You can learn more about that at stockscores.com, my website. And this is a stock that met one of those critical criteria that I talked about at the top of the video, which is an abnormal break from a predictive price pattern. The price pattern, I've marked it out on the screen there. It is a pennant pattern. So you can see that we've got rising bottoms and we've got falling tops, but the trend into the pennant is up. So that's a bullish pennant. And when you get an abnormal price break from the pointy tip of the triangle, that usually leads to a pretty decent up move. And we saw it here, the stock moving from about $1.80 to $2.60 over the next 10-15 minutes. So that's a nice little day trade. There wasn't a lot of action last week. You know, summer markets slows down a little bit, although we typically do get a summer rally, and I'm hoping that that will come soon. But still, even in a slow market, there are stocks that make moves, and you can see that this one did it. Notice also how the volume starts to ramp up. That's traders coming in, and you just want to ride the coattails of the crowd, letting that stock pull you higher into a nice, profitable trade. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have you ever made the mistake trying to be smart? Let me know how that worked out for you. And if you enjoyed the video, click on the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And as always, trade well.